Hello students, welcome to English video lessons. Happy to see you all again. Today we are going to learn conditional clauses. You have already learned in your 11th standard what is a clause. A clause is a group of words which has a subject and a verb, but it may give a complete sense or not. What's a phrase? A phrase is a group of words, but it does not have a subject and a complete verb. You have already learned the three kinds of sentences in English. First one, simple sentences. Second, complex sentences. Third, compound sentences. What is the structure of a simple sentence? A simple sentence has a subject and a verb. It ends with the full stop. A simple sentence may have a phrase and a main clause. What's a complex sentence? A complex sentence has a subordinate clause and a main clause. What's a subordinate clause? A subordinate clause begins with a subordinating conjunctions. So what are the subordinating conjunctions? Though, although, even though, when, if, unless, as soon as. These are called subordinating conjunctions. Okay. So what do you mean by conditional sentences? Conditional sentences belong to complex sentences. A sentence which begins with if or unless is called conditional sentence. Conditional sentences have two clauses. One is the if clause. Second, a main clause. If you work hard, you will pass. Here, if you work hard is an if clause. You will pass is the main clause. Understood? So, a conditional clause describes a condition and the main clause gives the result of it. The conditional sentences begin with if or unless. The conditional clause can come before and after the main clause. So, the structure of if clause is if plus subject plus verb. So, if clause, it depends upon the main clause. If you get up late, you will miss the bus. Identify the if clause. If you get up late, you will miss the bus. That is main clause. You see, here you have to identify the if clause and the main clause. First one, we will go to the market if the local shops are closed. Identify the if clause. It comes after the main clause. So first, we will go to the market. This is a main clause. If the local shops are closed, this is an if clause. Second one, if I eat lots of fast food, I will get fat. Here, which is the if clause? If I eat lots of fast food. This is the if clause because it starts with if. I will get fat. This is the main class because it has a subject and a verb. It stands on its own. Let's see the 4 types of conditional sentences. First type is zero conditional. Second, first conditional. Third, second conditional. Fourth one is the third conditional. First one, zero conditional. Zero conditional sentences are used to express facts and general truths. It is also used to give instructions. You see the structure of zero conditional sentences. If class, we have to use simple present tense. Main class also, we should use simple present tense. We can use either if or when in the zero conditional classes because both meaning are very similar. You see the examples. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. This is a fact, If you freeze water, what happens? It turns into ice. You can replace the word if by when. When you freeze water, it turns into ice. So, what's the verb here? Freeze. Freeze is in present tense. So, you see the main class, it turns into ice. Here, turns is in present tense. So, in zero conditional sentences, we use present tense both in the if class and in the main class. See the next example. If you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. That is a scientific fact, If you heat water, what happens? It boils. So here, what's the verb here? Heat. It is in present tense. In the main class, what is the verb? Boils. It is also in present tense. So, if you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. Rewrite the sentence using when. When you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. So, the meanings are similar, You can use both if or when because the meanings are very similar. So, when people smoke cigarettes, what's the verb here? Smoke. Smoke is in present tense. They suffer. This is the main class. So, you rewrite it using if. If people smoke cigarettes, they suffer. Fourth example, you see the fourth example, zero conditionals are also used to give instructions. If you want to come, send me a message. So now you have all understood the use of zero conditional. Next, let's see about the first conditional sentences. You are all interested to go on a picnic. Yes? Good. If you go for a picnic, what will you do? If you go for a picnic, you will pack up your things, whatever you need. Okay. So, first conditional sentences are used to talk about possible and probable situation. Possible situation. If this happens, that will happen. That is the possible situation. If you work hard, you will pass. So, things that are likely to happen in the future. This is called first conditional sentences. So, first conditional sentences are also used to make promises and give warnings. So, when children, they are innocent, no? When they play with the fire, mother would say, if you touch the fire, it will hurt you. This is a warning. You need some help. So, at that time, you ask your friend, if you do it for me, I will support you in another way. That is a promise. So, first conditional sentences are used to talk about possible and probable situations and also to make promises and give warnings. You see the structure of first conditional sentences. In the if class, we have to use present simple. Okay, simple present tense. In the main class, should be written in future tense. Will plus verb infinitive, that is first conditional sentence. First conditional is also called probable condition because the result may happen in the future. So, it is also called probable condition, real condition. See the example. If you behave kindly, people will respect you. If you behave kindly, people will respect you. See the if class. If you behave kindly. So, what's the verb here? Behave. Which tense is used? Present tense. What's the main class? People will respect you. Which tense is used? Future tense. Will respect. Will plus verb. Future tense is used. So, this is a probable condition. If you behave kindly, people will respect you. This is a real situation. Okay. The first, if the if class occurs, then only the result can happen. If only the if class occurs, the result may happen. That is why it is called conditional class. See the next example. If I have time, I will visit you soon. If I have time, I will visit you soon. So, if I have time, this is the if class. Have is the verb. It is in present tense. I will visit you soon. Will visit. It is in future tense. Next sentence. If it rains, I will stay at home. If it rains, if class, I will stay at home. So, if only it rains, I will stay at home. So, if it rains, I will stay at home. Next, if I wake up late, I will miss the bus. You see the picture. The boy wakes up late. That's why he misses the bus. So, you have understood the use of first conditional. So, what is the structure of first conditional? In the if class, present tense should be used. In the main class, future tense should be used. Okay. When do we use first conditional sentences? First conditional sentences are used to express the things that are likely to happen in the future. It is also used to give warnings and also give promises. Then, second conditional sentences. This is also called improbable condition or unreal situations. You see, second conditional clauses. They are used to talk about imaginary or unreal situations. Things what they wish would happen. Things what they wish would happen. So they are imaginary or unreal situations. See the structure. So in the if clause, simple past tense is used. In the main clause, would plus verb. Would plus verb infinitive. Examples: if I won $1 million, I would buy a car. Did he win $1 million? No. He is imagining. He expects that thing to happen. So if I won $1 million, I would buy a car. This is an imaginary situation. So in the if clause, past tense is used. You identify the verb one. Okay, one is a past form of the verb win. Okay, you see in the main clause, I would buy a car. Would buy, would plus verb. Okay. See the second sentence. If I were rich, I would buy a mansion by the sea. Actually, he is not rich. He is just imagining. If I were rich, I would buy a mansion by the sea. I ask you, if you were a bird, what would you do? So you would answer, if I were a bird, I would fly. I would fly all over the world. If I were a bird, I would be very happy. Like that, you will answer. So that these are improbable conditions. See the next sentence. If I were a bird, I would fly. Next one. If I knew the answer, I would tell it to you. Actually, he didn't know the answer. That's why he says, if I knew the answer, I would tell it to you. The condition is improbable. Okay, so if I knew the answer, the if clause is in past tense and the main clause has the verb form would plus verb. Let's see about the third conditional sentences. The third conditional sentences are also called impossible situations. Impossible situations that are impossible to happen. So third conditional sentences are used to talk about things that did not happen in the past. So these are imaginary situations in the past. If you ask your grandfather, Tata, what was your ambition? Your grandfather, he would say that I wanted to become an engineer. If I had studied well, I would have become an engineer. But he hadn't studied well. So these are imaginary situations in the past. So third conditional sentences are impossible situations. You see the structure. In the if clause, past perfect tense is used. In the main clause, would have plus past participle. Past participle means verb 3. Verb 3. You see the example. If I had got a gold medal, I would have been happy. He hadn't got the gold medal, but he is simply imagining what happened in the past. I participated in a competition, but I couldn't win. So he is imagining, if I had got a gold medal, I would have been happy. See the next sentence. If I had met Susan last week, I would have given her the book. So these incidents did not occur. So these are considered as imaginary situations. So these are impossible situations. You see the table here. So we have come across 4 types of conditional clauses. What's the first one? Zero conditional. You see the structure? In the if clause, present tense is used. Main clause also present tense. In the first conditional, that is probable condition, in the if clause, present tense is used. In the main clause, will plus verb 1. The second conditional or improbable condition, in the if clause, past tense should be used. In the main clause, would plus verb. The third conditional or impossible condition, in the if clause, past perfect tense is used. In the main clause, would have plus past participle is used. If you work hard, you can pass. This is the most familiar sentence you have come across, So, if you work hard, you can pass. What's the conditional here? That is zero conditional. If you work hard, you will pass. That is first conditional. If you worked hard, you would pass. That is the second conditional. If you had worked hard, you would have passed. That is the third conditional. So, children, you must be able to identify the types of conditionals. Okay, good. Then, you know the meaning of unless. This is also used in a conditional clause. What's the meaning of unless? Unless means if not. So we use it instead of if not. You see the example. You will damage your health unless you stop smoking. So what's the main clause here? You will damage your health. That is the main clause. What's the conditional clause here? Unless you stop smoking. So you replace unless using the word if. What will you do? But the meaning should not be changed. Without the change of meaning, you have to replace the word unless using the word if. You see the answer. You will damage your health if you do not stop smoking. In the conditional clause, unless you stop smoking, here the verb is stop. So, in order to use if in that sentence, you have to change the verb form into negative. Okay. So, stop. How will you split the verb? Do plus stop. So, in the negative form, it is written as do not stop. So, the answer is you will damage your health if you do not stop smoking. So, let's go through some exercise in your book. Okay. Book exercises. It's in Unit 4, Prose 4, Task 1. Read the following sentences and fill in the blanks. First one, if I dash, within bracket B is given, if I dash a spider, I dash weave webs. So, what conditional clauses can be used here? So, this is the second conditional. Be verb must be used. If I were a spider. So here I is singular, no. Why we should use were? So that is the rule. In second conditionals, when we use be verbs, we have to write were as the be verb. If I were a spider, I would weave webs. So past tense is used in the if class. That's why would plus verb is used in the main class. Next, if Raj within bracket be a sculptor, he does make beautiful idols. We can write it in zero conditional and also in the first conditional. If Raj is a sculptor, he makes beautiful idols. And also we can write like this. If Raj is a sculptor, he will make beautiful idols. It can also be written as if Raj were a sculptor, he would make beautiful idols. See the next sentence. If Mary had an umbrella, she does lent it to me. You identify the tense form. If Mary had an umbrella. What's the tense used here? What's the verb? Had. Had is the past tense. So, if past tense comes in the if class, what will come in the main class? Would plus verb. So, the answer is would lent. See the next sentence. Rex would have played with me if he within bracket has time. So, you see which is the main class here? Here the if class comes after the main class, okay. So, what's the verb form used in the main class? Would have played. So, this is the fourth conditional, you know, fourth conditional. So, would have played. If would have played comes in the main class, what will come in the if class? Had plus past participle. So, you have to write had you have to write. Then what is the past form of has? Had. So the answer is if he had time. Okay, hope you have all understood the conditional classes. Thank you.